Hey everybody, Gabe Jenkins back with you from the CCA, the College and Career Accelerator, accelerating your future. Hope you're having a great day. I am. I'm loving working with SolidWorks. I hope you are too. I am going to try something a little bit different in this walkthrough video. So historically, a walkthrough video is meant like I'm going to click here and then click here and then do this and type that. I'm going to do something a little bit different just to kind of like start to pull back the scaffolding a tiny bit because this shape actually has no new tools that we're using. It's just kind of like getting practice, picking a plane, starting a sketch, dimensioning it, making sure that it's fully defined, and then either extruding or cutting something from that shape. So it's a pretty straightforward process that we're doing right here because we've already cut stuff, we've already done all the things. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to show you the whole picture, and then I'm just going to show you step by step the parts that I built, okay? And I'm going to ask you to try to work from that. And you can either do it my way or another student can do it a different way. You can do it however you want. I'm just showing you a way because it's like Bob Ross said, it's your world. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. So here's what I did. I started off by making this front profile, this front sketch right here on the front plane. And I think I've highlighted this, but maybe I haven't. When you create a shape in SolidWorks, it gives you the history of everything that is true that you've done about that shape. So this one I've already changed to copper. I've already made it in millimeters and grams. Those are the units I'm using. And so then it starts to tell you how you've built that shape, right? And notice that if I hover over something, it kind of gives you the outline, like the wireframe of what that is. But then if I click on it, it shows me that whole thing that I built. Okay, piece by piece by piece. Now that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is to take this little blue bar down here, and you see as I hover over it, it gives me a little hand. I can move, I can grab that, I clicked on it, and I'm moving it up, and if I let it go in between boss, extrude, and here, all this stuff gets grayed out, and now all it's showing is what was that first step I did? What was done? Everything that was done up until that blue line. So you can see, right? I did this sketch. And if I want to edit it, you can see it's got all my dimensions on there, and that's what it looks like, right? That was what I did. I can go back in there, change it if I want to, but that was my first step of this project, was to make that profile and extrude it backwards. Next thing I did was I went to this side, and I made a new shape, right? I made a new sketch on that plane, and I cut it out. So my sketch looked like, just was pretty simple. It's a little hard to see here. There we go. Made a little sketch, pretty simple, and just took that shape and cut it out, right? Cut it out all the way through. After I did that, then I stayed on that same plane, made this little part right here, which was a simple sketch, kind of simple sketch. There we go. So we'll try to see all those dimensions. But I made that and extruded it backwards a little bit across that shape. And then lastly, I realized that I hadn't cut out that little piece right there. So I took the last little bit and I just finished cutting out that part right there. And that was it, right? I took the whole shape, broke it down into 4 steps, and ended up with this beauty right here. So if you want to follow my steps, that's how I did it. If you want to do your own way, perfectly cool. Check your mass at the end of it. Go up here to evaluate and then mass properties. It shows you a pop-up view. Mine has a mass of 3,241.13 grams. And if yours is really super close to that, I'm going to accept it for now because, again, there's a little bit of confusion about the dimensions on the thing. But as long as you're like really, really close to that, you've done a really good job. All right? So with that, we're going to say ciao for now. All right. Bye, everybody. Good luck.